All righty, we are live.
Welcome to the CAPC special meeting. It's December 5th, 2025, 10:30 a.m. here at Rickett Springs Auditorium. We've called a special meeting for one single purpose. First, we'll do the welcome. I just did that, sorry. Roll call.
Colton Scrivener,
Present.
Steve Hollyfield,
Here.
Rob Schmid,
Here.
David Avanzino is absent, and Sharon Faust is out ill.
Okay, thank you. And so the one topic we have is CAPC staff end-of-year bonuses, and who wants to take that and run with it? Ty or Mike? Or?
Yeah, I can take it, I guess.
Okay.
Well, we need to, in order to pay the bonus, we need to confirm amount that the bonus is going to be and how it's allocated, because that wasn't part of the motion, original motion. In January, it said it was approved for 1% reserved for bonuses. So bonuses need to be paid in December, and so to calculate the amount of collections that the bonus is based on, we need to determine if we're going to use January through November, or if we want to make it 12 months, go back to December of the previous year and go December to November. So that needs to be determined to determine the amount. And then I gave you a spreadsheet, and that's showing allocations based on percentage of salary, but we can do it however you guys want. That's just a recommendation. So we need to determine the amount and how it's allocated.
Feedback?
I do have a question.
Sure.
For last year, bonus that took place in December 2024, what was the pay, what was that time span for the bonus?
This is what you provide.
Yeah, was it January through, so what I'm asking is,
It doesn't say.
December wouldn't have been collected.
Right.
So it was January through November.
Probably.
So then it would make sense to include December of last year through November of this year, because we don't have collections. That seems only fair. If we're going on a full 12 months, then we should do through December 24 through November 25. Just like we did last year. So it seems like we should just keep that as a best practice. And I'm interested in what others think.
So last year we did the same thing last year, the 1%?
It was actually, according to this calculation, 0.86%.
Okay. So it was raised from
But it was of the total budget, so it wasn't based on collections. So it was 0.8%, 6% of the budget. So
will that come out about the same, or will it be?
yeah, last year the bonus in total was $17,250.
Colton, you going to say something?
Just that I agree that December through November makes the most sense for a bonus. No reason to leave off 1 month just arbitrarily.
So that's not 12 months though, right? Or is that 12 months?
That would be
December
12.
December
Okay.
to the November, yeah.
Cool. So this is pretty much the way we did it last year, but it's instead of total collections, total budget's just collections.
Right, so I guess just need to confirm what percentage of those collections for those 12 months you want to you have as a bonus.
Last year was 0.86, you said.
Yeah, but so when we did the bonuses last year, we did 0.86 based on just me going into Paylocity in the state of Arkansas. And what we voted on was to reserve a full 1% up to. We didn't say that would necessarily be what we give. Now, our collections are just under $2 million. And we, with a goal of $2 million, I don't want to say, yes, absolutely, we'll get there. But if you remember, it took a couple of months this year to surpass what we said we'd collect in 2024 because collections were still coming in. So it feels safe to say we're going to meet that. And this is we're talking $19,000 split between 5 people.
What we said we'd collect in 2024.
The first line is the 12 months, the second line is 11 months. So that was just to show you the different amounts for each time period.
Yeah, so for the 12-month period, we're at about 2.1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I think that's what we should go off of, because I think that that's more representative of reality.
Okay.
I am an advocate for the 1%. I have said that this team does the job of multiple people. They work nights, they work weekends, and I know that this is their job, but they do it well. They're not just skating by, they're committed. They show up, and this isn't a conversation about have they met expectations. They exceed expectations. And it's almost, to look at the column and say, give people 1% of their salary, as a bonus, that kind of hurts, but, that's where we are. And I think that that's the minimum that we can do. And hopefully we set an example for other areas of the city for employees who are stepping up too.
So can we list all the employees that would receive a bonus?
We can. That would, start at the top with me, Danielle Harris, Caitlin Jarrell, Ty Reed, and Janet Kaler.
Okay.
It would be full-time.
All full-time employees.
Right.
So let's make it clear, our part-time ushers and stuff like that
That's right.
are not even half-time or anything like that. They're not receiving bonus. Okay.
And I also feel Mike is the director. And as the director of the staff, it's important that we have his feedback on his staff performance because he's working with them day in and day out. And so I'd also like to hear from Mike because my opinion is we should be doing the maximum that we can. And I'd like, I'd like Mike's feedback on the team as well because he works with them.
Part of the procedure for taking this from our office here over to City Hall is the annual employee evaluation. Last year, we did the evaluations, and honestly, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because it was bad. It was not as easy because it was so good. And when you have people that work at exemplary levels all the time, and then you try to go ahead and come up with, what you would consider as a mark to try to obtain, and you realize that 100% is the goal, it's hard to say, well, you only did 90%. You can't do that very well in this position. So what we do is go back with those employee evaluations. We'll do another one shortly. That's something we have to do every year anyway. And then we'll take a look at those and see, where we are measured. But what I would say is that everybody has overachieved from last year. There certainly had been anybody that stepped backwards in their responsibilities or their job performance or anything else. And the one thing I would say, and we're seeing it almost on a quarter-by-quarter basis, when we get to the fourth quarter of this year, this is just full speed ahead at 100 miles an hour for everyone. So everybody is working at 100 and 101% and 102%. So I think where we're at is I would hope that the commission sees that effort. I think that they do. And I believe that to be fair about where we are, especially in taking a look at what the other cities in the state of Arkansas, what other A&P commissions do, we probably pay less than anybody else does. And that really goes across the board from Bentonville to the city of Fayetteville to the city of Rogers to Fort Smith. Certainly Hot Springs is way above us, and the city of Little Rock is way above us. So I think where we're at, we're in a nice position. We can continue to grow. I think that's the one thing. But from a staff standpoint, this is a very hard staff to replace. So in order to be able to continue to do the work that we are doing, I hope the commission sees that these rewards are very important.
So it's not just a director's salary. statewide, it's staff, all the staff.
all staff.
Okay.
Yeah, and for those who may be new coming into this conversation, either that'll watch this back or for Colton, last year I put a deck together with data that showed just how drastically we underpay against state benchmarks and the Northwest Arkansas benchmarks, acknowledging that yes, we are Eureka Springs, but we have Dr. Scrivener at the table with us, who has just published a book. It is very well known. He lives in small town Eureka Springs. His expertise is not negated because of his geography. His value is not negated because of his geography, nor should we do that with our staff because of our geography. I do not find that an acceptable excuse when we have $2 million sitting in the bank. So that's why I advocated for a small bonus to try to make up some of the delta and to also take a look at it from a retention standpoint, because it would be very hard to think about somebody replacing Danielle or Caitlin or Jana or Ty, who came in here and cleaned up a mess that was left behind and deserves a trophy. So I know, because I get the feedback, and I understand that people are looking at things from solely dollar figures, but if we broke this down hourly, I think people would be aghast. And so I very, very strongly advocate for the maximum bonus for this team.
Just in the events I organize, they've probably earned 0.5% if I were to pay them hourly. So I tend to agree.
So just to be clear to the public, this is not Christmas bonuses. This is end-of-year bonuses.
Correct.
Yeah. That's a big difference, because the city does Christmas bonuses, $50, $100, whatever. This is the end-of-year bonus and Christmas bonus together. So we don't do Christmas bonuses. Okay? Robert, you don't have anything to say about this?
Well, no, I think it's a good thing that we definitely have to look at the 12 months period and not just like a partial of it, you know. So since we have, I'm assuming the numbers I've seen are numbers collected till end of October. I mean, we're always behind, so we have to go from technically probably from October or 1st of November to end of October technically for the collections. And so we do have to have a 12-month basis to calculate our bonuses.
No, that's, we do the collections in QuickBooks on a cash basis, so that is actually through November cash basis.
Oh, okay. So anyway, but as long as we have a 12-month space to compare and use as a number, I think the December is not going to make the whole year completely different usually, you know, like that's probably one of the slower months. So I don't have any opposition on that part. And I think, we are in a small town. If I look at as a business owner, you know, my prices are lower. I can't charge the same amount for my hotel rooms like a hotel in Fayetteville or in Bentonville can charge. And I think that explains a little bit that our budget is a little bit different than the big chambers or the big AMPs in those other regions. I always have, we have maybe differences with that, Heather, but we are small town and we can't compare ourselves with everybody else. So we kind of have to find a compromise. And I said it last year and I'll say it again. I think if somebody has an issue, it thinks he's underpaid, one of our staff, I hope those people will come forward and you know, talk with the director and say, look, I think I'm worth more or whatever, and we have a chance to correct if there's a way that we can. Our means are limited to a certain degree, and we kind of have to find a medium, I think. But I definitely agree, we don't want to lose anybody of our team, of our staff. They're doing a fabulous job, and we want to continue it that way.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else?
Ty, can I ask a clarifying question? He brought up a good point about collections. So how is it that you have through November of '25?
Because it's cash basis, so whatever's brought in during the month, whatever's deposited in the bank is included in QuickBooks as collections for that month. So I have November numbers already
I see.
for that. That last spreadsheet on the financial report shows the actual collections for the actual month.
Got it. Thanks.
May I just say something quickly?
Heather?
I did want to say to Rob, I agree about compromise, and this is what I think is a great compromise, because we can't pay what others pay, but we can do something small, and the little things are the big things. And so I agree with Rob. Please know, Rob, I don't disagree with you as far as the reality of the situation we're in, but I also think our reality is we can do something small, and we should, because we can.
Also, I'd like to point out, small town Arkansas, with a very high cost of living here. It's not cheap to live in Eureka Springs, so
Not anymore.
not anymore.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to give the 1% maximum of collections for December 24 through November 25 as bonuses to the CAPC full-time staff.
And do we want to discuss or mention how it's going to be allocated? Do you want someone to determine that, or do you want it based on percentage of salary, or?
I think that it's appropriate for Mike to determine that
Okay.
as the leader of the CAPC staff.
Okay, if you would just include that in your motion, then.
Let me-
She just did, so
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
So just to say that, so the way it is shown right now, is it in the percentage of the salary, right?
Yes.
The breakdown?
Yes, this just is an example of what it would look like.
So we have to be specific about if we want each person to receive 1%? Is that,
Or we leave it up to Mike? So
No, I'd like to leave that up to Mike.
our motion is to leave it up to Mike.
okay. So we're essentially reserving then
Total.
$20,993, is that?
Yes, so we'll reserve $20,993, and Executive Director Mike Maloney will determine the appropriate designation of bonus for each staff member.
That's a motion. I'll go ahead, hear a second.
Second?
Cole just seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Robert says aye. It's unanimous 4-0. All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Heather made the motion to adjourn, and Colton seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.